Stay put, stay put. Stay put.
Look at this guy has his food. Look, that food is expensive over there. I don't blame him. See him reaching up and grabbing whatever that is on the table. All right, so that's some of the footage over the weekend at the State Fair here in Texas as somebody opened fire in the food court. Now, we're going to watch this from Fox 4 DFW. We're going to talk about the suspect, and we're going to discuss why and how this may have happened.
The State Fair of Texas will have enhanced security for its final week after a shooting injured 3 people. Happened around 7:45 last night in a tower building at Fair Park. Witness video shows people rushing to get out of the fairgrounds when the gunfire erupted. Many others hiding for safety. Police arrested the suspect minutes after the shooting, and he is now charged with aggravated assault. Fox 4's Rebecca Butcher spoke with witnesses and a State Fair rep about the security concerns.
Why was he charged with aggravated assault if he shot somebody? Multiple people, I should say.
Well, usually this time of day, thousands of attendees would be at the State Fair of Texas, but on Sunday morning, it was only vendors. The fair didn't open until 1:45 p.m. Sunday after Dallas police say one man shot at another, injuring 3 people, 2 men and a woman.
All of a sudden, there was 4 gunshots, this pow, 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 and then there was about a minute delay, and then there was another gunshot, and people fled.
The shooting took place in the Tower Building, which is a food court. Witnesses, some of them Fox 4 employees, recorded the scene as Dallas police evacuated the park. Food court vendor Jessica Metlin was working at the time.
People were jumping over my counters. I was pulling people to safety. I was pulling people behind the counters.
All of the victims are expected to recover. At least one appears to be an innocent bystander. Dallas police say the suspect, 22-year-old Cameron Turner, ran from the scene, but officers located Turner and took him into custody. A gun was recovered. He's charged with aggravated assault. Fox 4 News producer Cassandra Crump was at the State Fair with her sister when they heard gunfire.
I literally saw the smoke clearing from, how gunpowder or gun smoke happens.
The 2 were inside the food court ordering a drink when they ducked down trying to get to safety.
Out of nowhere, everybody just starts running, and then we're trying to get out the place, and people just trampled us. It was chaos.
They actually ran over my body. A lot of people.
Nisha Crump says she had footprints all over her body.
Someone stopped them and said, let them get up, and so we got up.
That's crazy. I'm glad she's okay, because that could have been a disaster for her being trampled on by so many people. People just, I don't know, man. Anyway.
Had to be an angel.
The fair prohibits weapons on the property. However, its policy does make an exception for licensed gun owners.
We don't allow weapons in the State Fair of Texas. However, we understand that Texans have rights to carry their weapons. And so we have a middle ground where those that have a license to carry are allowed to come in with a concealed weapon.
It is not yet clear how the suspect got a gun onto the fairgrounds. The fair has an open gate weapons detection system.
When people walk through, it detects if there are any weapons on them and notifies the security team to then do a deeper inspection at that point in time.
The fair is planning to enhance security during the final week of operations.
We do plan for us to have a heightened security presence, not only on the perimeter of the grounds, but throughout the fairgrounds for the remainder of the 2023 State Fair of Texas.
Meanwhile, Nisha shared her views on the fair's gun policy.
If I had known that they could carry weapons inside guns, I would not even have gone.
But Saturday's shooting didn't stop others from coming in as early as they could on Sunday. Rebecca Butcher.
All right, so let's talk about this for a second. Here's a suspect right here. I believe the screen on him. Now, the policy of the state fair, like she says, are license. If you have a license to carry, you can come into the state fair with a firearm if it's concealed. I don't know if this guy. They don't say if he had an LTC or anything like that. I don't know. Now, I read some of the comments on these from these news outlets, and there was somebody that said that they were there at the state fair and they were disappointed in, I guess, how they weren't very thorough in their security check. They grabbed their purse, they put it around the metal detector, looked in one pocket, didn't look at the rest of it, and just pushed her on through. And she thought that was not a good protocol. She felt like they didn't do a thorough check, and anybody could get a weapon through. Somebody said they were just kind of pushing people on through quickly. And I get a lot of people are there, but there needs to be a thorough, very, very thorough check. You can't just push people on through and halfway do things. Look, I went to Screams over the weekend. I'm not sure if you heard of that. It's kind of a bunch of haunted houses, kind of like a Halloween thing. 5 haunted houses. They have bars there. It's out in Waxahachie. But anyway, the security check was very extensive, in my opinion. I mean, it wasn't like they were patting you down and doing all these crazy things, but there were police officers there, and there were security guards there. There were people at the front. There were guys and men and women with wands, metal detectors in their hands, and they were checking to see if anything was going off. And I had they made you empty everything out of your pocket. And my wife, they looked through her purse all the way through. They didn't just half-ass do it. They had me take everything out of my pocket, phone in your hand, keys in your hand, and then you had to, stand up. They had waved the wand over you, whatever it's called, and there was some change in my pocket, and the guy goes, "There's something going off. What's that in your pocket?" So I pulled it out with some change, and then he did again. It didn't go off, and I went through. I felt good about that because I felt it was very thorough. I knew that I wasn't allowed to bring my firearm in there. I do have an LTC, even though we do have constitutional carry here in Texas. I've had my LTC for a while. And even though I couldn't bring my gun, I couldn't bring my pepper spray, anything like that, I did feel good about how much heightened security there was. Like I said, there were a lot of police officers there, a lot of security. The front was very well secured as far as checking people, make sure they didn't have weapons on them. And it was very thorough, and I felt pretty safe there. I'm not saying that nothing can go wrong, but I felt better about that. And as far as allowing weapons into places like this, I want to know what you think. Do you think that you should be allowed to bring to a place like the state fair? They should allow licensed carriers to bring their weapons into the state fair. I don't know if this guy had an LTC. I don't know. They haven't explained that to us yet. Hopefully, we'll find out in the near future. I heard that in Arkansas, the state fair there were people putting a situation that happened there. I don't have to look into this, where somebody put a gun over the fence and handed it to somebody. So heightened security is a must, and thorough checks are a must. So I don't know how you feel about that. Should they allow guns into the state fair? Of course, criminals will always find a way, but should there have been a better check on who's coming in, just like with anything else? Now, this guy claims that he felt threatened. He acted in self-defense. He saw people approaching him. He said 3 people approached him. 2 or 3 people approached him, and he felt threatened, so he shot them. I don't understand that. I don't know who these people were, if he knew them, if he's in a gang, and he automatically just decided to shoot these people. I don't know. He felt threatened, apparently. But it was a stupid thing to do because you hit an innocent bystander by acting stupidly. And I don't know what his background is, if he has a criminal record, but I do want to know if he has an LTC. And I want to know, what do you think about that? Should Texans be allowed to bring their guns inside the places like this where it could, a lot of people are there. Thousands of people are at the state fair. I've been there before. And I just didn't feel like going this year. I don't like going to Dallas. I just don't like going riding that train and being packed with people, and it's a mess. I just don't like the crowds and all that in a lot of these places. But it's fun. I've been there before. I just didn't feel like going this year. But what do you think? Do you think this guy should have been charged with more than aggravated assault? I think he shot somebody. He shot 3 people. He could have killed 3 people. So why was he not charged with murder? I don't know. It's just gonna be a slap on the wrist and be gone after a while. I don't know. To me, it doesn't make sense. But I'm curious how this gun, if he was not an LTC holder, how this gun got in here. Was it just poor? Was it negligence at the front? That's my opinion. It could have been negligence, kind of pushing people on through. He had this gun on his person somewhere, or he had it in a bag, and the bag went around. I don't know. They didn't check it properly. Maybe somebody handed over the fence, and if he is a licensed carrier, should we allow anybody with an LTC inside these places, because you don't know what kind of damage they can cause? Or is it just something that we have to deal with? Do you have to deal with these types of things and just take that chance and then hope that nothing goes wrong and have heightened security? I don't know. But all right, guys, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.